This person in heaven left you a message last night. Michael begged you to open it today. He cried your name. You didn't hear, but heaven did. There are no accidents when it comes to divine timing, and this moment, right now, was written long before you ever opened your eyes this morning. Archangel Michael has been hovering near you since last night, whispering your name through the silence, hoping you'd feel the pull in your chest, that strange feeling in your heart that something was calling you. And now, here you are. You think you clicked on this message by chance? No. The one who left you that message from heaven, the one you miss more than words can carry, they've been trying to get your attention. And Archangel Michael, he cried for you. Yes, cried. With the strength of the heavens in his voice, he said your name. And while your ears didn't hear it, your soul did. That pressure behind your eyes? That sudden lump in your throat? That's not random. That's the divine knocking on the inside of your soul's door. Because there is something you need to know. And there's not much time. Heaven is not far. It's not up there beyond the stars. It's just a thin veil beyond your breath. And someone from that sacred realm, someone you've loved, someone who left too soon, someone who held your hand and knew your laughter, they sent you this message. They've seen what's been happening. They see the battle behind your smile. The pain you never say out loud. And tonight, yes, tonight, something is shifting. Archangel Michael was dispatched because the pain in your energy became too loud to ignore. Heaven intervenes when the soul is weary. And Archangel Michael does not arrive unless the matter is urgent. Are you listening now? Because what you're about to hear will change the way you see everything. You've been walking through something so heavy, haven't you? Some days you carry it like it's made of stone. You smile when you're supposed to, you nod when people expect you to, but inside, there's this ache. And sometimes you don't even know what you're grieving anymore, a person, a version of yourself, a dream that never bloomed. But heaven knows. And that person who left this message for you, they whispered to Archangel Michael in the language of love that only angels understand. They said, please, let them know I'm still with them. And Michael listened. His wings stirred the sky. His sword of light pointed directly toward you. And now, he's here. He says this, I bring you truth. I bring you clarity. I bring you protection, and I bring you a message sealed in heaven's light. And this is it, you are not forgotten. Even when you feel invisible. Even when your prayers go unanswered and you're left staring at the ceiling wondering if anyone is truly listening. They are. Archangel Michael says you've been seen, not just recently, but your whole life. All those nights you cried yourself to sleep as a child. Heaven remembers. That moment you wished you could disappear and no one noticed. Heaven did. You didn't come this far to be abandoned now. You didn't survive all that pain for the story to end in sorrow. No. That's why Michael was sent. That's why this message found you now, not before, not later, but in this exact breath. And now I ask you, can you feel it? That stirring behind your chest. That's your soul remembering something. A promise. A plan. A purpose. Michael says you've been surrounded by signs. Feathers. Numbers repeating. Dreams that felt too real to be coincidence. Flickers of light in the corner of your eye when no one was there. Do you think all that is just strange? No, beloved, that's spiritual surveillance. That's how heaven watches. And the one you miss? They've been closer than your shadow. Last night they reached across dimensions. They left a message sealed in light. And when Michael opened it, he saw your name glowing. He saw your tears. He saw your courage. And he knew, this moment had to happen. Now listen closely. There is something about to change in your life, and this isn't meant to scare you. It's meant to prepare you. Michael says that tonight, something will attempt to revisit you, a fear, a memory, a darkness that once tried to break you. But do not be afraid. Because this time, you're not facing it alone. Heaven will be in your room. The energy will shift. The room may feel warmer, the light may flicker, or you may feel like someone just entered the space. That's not your imagination. That's Archangel Michael doing what he does best, protecting you when you don't even know you're in danger. The person you loved, the one who left the world too soon, they called upon him because they know what you're about to face. And they don't want you walking through it alone. If this message is reaching your heart, then pause and subscribe. You were meant to receive this. Heaven wants to speak more often to you. This is not entertainment. This is divine intervention. Michael says your life has been a series of almosts. Almost happy. Almost stable. Almost loved in the way you deserved. But no more almosts. The time has come for alignment. For truth. For divine justice. Someone took something from you, years ago, and thought they got away with it. But the heavens saw. And the winds of justice are moving. Archangel Michael says that you're about to receive back what was stolen. Not just material things, but peace, clarity, closure, and the ability to feel joy again. It's your divine inheritance. But you have to stay open. Stay present. Because sometimes, blessings arrive disguised as disruptions. Sometimes, the things that leave are making space for what your soul has been begging for. There is a person watching over you right now, yes, even as you read this. You may feel a sudden chill, or warmth across your neck, or a wave of emotion you can't explain. That's them. They've heard your prayers, even the angry ones. Even the desperate ones you muttered under your breath. They didn't leave you when they died. They simply stepped behind the curtain. But they still walk with you. They still protect you. They still cry for you when you forget how precious you are. Michael says your life has been a series of almosts. Almost happy. Almost stable. Almost loved in the way you deserved. But no more almosts. The time has come for alignment. For truth. For divine justice. Someone took something from you, years ago, and thought they got away with it. But the heavens saw. And the winds of justice are moving. Archangel Michael says that you're about to receive back what was stolen. Not just material things, but peace, clarity, closure, and the ability to feel joy again. It's your divine inheritance. But you have to stay open. Stay present. Because sometimes, blessings arrive disguised as disruptions. Sometimes, the things that leave are making space for what your soul has been begging for. There is a person watching over you right now, yes, even as you read this. You may feel a sudden chill, or warmth across your neck, or a wave of emotion you can't explain. That's them. They've heard your prayers, even the angry ones. Even the desperate ones you muttered under your breath. They didn't leave you when they died. They simply stepped behind the curtain. But they still walk with you. They still protect you. They still cry for you when you forget how precious you are. Archangel Michael wants you to know this, and I need you to really hear it. You are not a mistake. You are not too late. You are not too broken to be used by heaven. There is light all around you, waiting to be let in. And even when you feel like giving up, you don't. That's how I know you're chosen. That's how I know this message had to find you. Then stay with me, and don't scroll away. Please, not this time. Archangel Michael is still here. His presence doesn't knock loudly like the world does. He moves in stillness. He enters through emotion. And right now, you can feel something changing inside, can't you? That trembling in your chest, like your soul recognizing a truth it didn't know it was waiting for. You're not imagining this. This is sacred. You are standing in a divine appointment. Every second you stay here, the energy around you is being rewritten. What was heavy is being lifted. What was broken is being remembered whole. Michael is saying your name again now. Slowly, gently, like a prayer wrapped in golden fire. And do you know why? Because you've forgotten your own name in the noise of life. You've been called so many things by others. Too sensitive, too quiet, too much, not enough. But heaven only calls you one thing, precious. Divine. Marked. And the moment you were born, angels rejoiced because they knew, this one carries light. But then the world tried to dim it, didn't it? People hurt you who were supposed to protect you. You've spent years trying to clean up wounds that weren't even yours to begin with. Sometimes, you still carry guilt over things that were never your fault. Archangel Michael is telling me to tell you this clearly, lay it down now. You were never meant to carry that shame. It ends tonight. The heaviness is leaving you, even if you don't feel it all at once. You'll start breathing easier. You'll start sleeping better. You'll feel less afraid, less anxious. That's how healing begins, not like fireworks, but like morning light seeping into a dark room. And if you've ever felt like you were cursed, you weren't. But you were under spiritual attack. And that attack came because of your light. Dark energy is drawn to those with sacred destinies. Michael says you've been surrounded by shadows that didn't belong to you. Thoughts that weren't yours. He's cutting those cords now. Even if you don't see it. Even if you're still doubting. Even if you feel tired. Just stay with this message. Let it speak over you. There is power in simply being open. Can I tell you something very few people know? When Archangel Michael enters a room, he doesn't come to gently encourage you, he comes to wage war for your peace. That's what he's doing now. He's reclaiming what was yours before the world told you it wasn't. That creative spark you've buried. That innocent love you once gave so freely. That dream you gave up on because life hardened your heart. Michael sees all of it. And with every second you stay here, his sword is cutting away the lies you've believed. You were never unworthy. You were never too late. You were never invisible. You were only waiting to remember. And now, you are. The person in heaven who asked for this message to reach you, they know how fragile you felt. They see what others don't. You smiled yesterday, but you were crumbling inside. You laughed with friends but went home feeling hollow. You've been holding it all together, hoping no one notices how close you are to giving up. But someone did notice. The person who used to hold your hand, who once knew your laugh in its purest form, who died thinking you were the most beautiful soul they ever encountered, they've never left you. You just forgot how to hear them. Archangel Michael is bringing their voice back to you now, through this message. Not in the way the world communicates, but through the divine language of remembrance. Every word you read, every tear that's falling, it's part of the spiritual link being restored. Your soul is remembering something it knew before the world told it to forget. You are protected. You are surrounded. You are still loved by the ones who left. And yes, they're proud of you. You don't hear that enough, do you? I'm proud of you. Not just for surviving, but for loving the way you do. For forgiving people who never said sorry. For waking up and trying again after nights that nearly broke you. For being so gentle in a world that applauds cruelty. Heaven sees it. Archangel Michael says your gentleness is your greatest strength, and the world lied when it told you otherwise. You have no idea how many people have been blessed by your presence. Even when you thought no one noticed. Even when you felt small. You shine in ways that can't be measured in likes or followers. And someone you've helped, even silently, has whispered your name in prayer, asking heaven to protect you. Those prayers reached Archangel Michael. He moves for the ones who move with compassion. That's you. That's why this message was written in stars before you were ever born. And now, heaven is preparing you for something. It's not what you think. It's not just healing. It's not just a miracle. It's a shift. A full reversal. And yes, they're proud of you. You don't hear that enough, do you? I'm proud of you. Not just for surviving, but for loving the way you do. For forgiving people who never said sorry. For waking up and trying again after nights that nearly broke you. For being so gentle in a world that applauds cruelty. Heaven sees it. Archangel Michael says your gentleness is your greatest strength, and the world lied when it told you otherwise. You have no idea how many people have been blessed by your presence. Even when you thought no one noticed. Even when you felt small. You shine in ways that can't be measured in likes or followers. And someone you've helped, even silently, has whispered your name in prayer, asking heaven to protect you. Those prayers reached Archangel Michael. He moves for the ones who move with compassion. That's you. That's why this message was written in stars before you were ever born. And now, heaven is preparing you for something. It's not what you think. It's not just healing. It's not just a miracle. It's a shift. A full reversal. The season of delay is ending. The tears you've sown in private, they're about to bloom in public joy. That financial struggle you've been too ashamed to talk about, there's breakthrough coming. That relationship that shattered your trust, you're going to understand why it ended, and you're going to see the right one appear. The timing may not make sense right now, but it will. Heaven is never late, only precise. And Michael is positioning you for restoration. But don't let the fear creep in now. The enemy always tries to distract you right before something big breaks loose. You'll suddenly feel tired, or get into arguments, or question your worth again. But it's just a test. Stay still. Breathe. Speak this aloud: I am protected. I am surrounded. I am chosen. Because you are. And Michael is standing at the edge of your space right now, arms crossed, wings wide, sword lifted. No weapon formed against you will prosper. Heaven will not let it. You've been covered in silence for too long. But the silence was not abandonment. It was preparation. You were being hidden so your light wouldn't be stolen before it could fully rise. And now? It's time. Do you feel it? Like a key turning? Like the door finally unlocking? Something you thought was lost is about to return. But not in the same form. It's going to come back better. Stronger. Divine. That's the promise. That's the word from Michael. And your only job is to receive it. Let this message stay with you tonight. Don't rush away from it. Don't brush this off like a coincidence. Rewatch. Reread. Reopen your heart. You were meant to be reminded of your divine place in this universe. You are not forgotten. You are not done. And you are not alone. Would you like me to continue to complete the full 7,000-word version in the same flow? The veil is thin now. The distance between this world and the next is almost transparent. Heaven is so close that if you close your eyes, you just might feel the breath of it on your skin. Archangel Michael hasn't left. He's standing guard as you receive this. And the one who loved you so deeply, the one who cried your name last night while you slept, they're right here too. Not as a memory, not as a dream, but as a presence. A soul that still feels yours. They've been trying to reach you in small ways. That song that comes on when you're thinking about them. That feather on the ground where it shouldn't be. That smell, like old books or vanilla or their cologne, that drifts into your space and disappears just as fast. These are not accidents. They're echoes. Sacred echoes. And this message, this is their loudest echo yet. They know you've been wondering if anyone would ever really understand the way you carry pain. You don't show it easily. You carry it like a quiet storm. But Archangel Michael does not miss storms. He walks into them with fire in his eyes and love in his voice. He sees your scars, and he calls them sacred, not shameful. Do you understand? What you thought disqualified you from love, from joy, from healing, it's the very thing that makes you chosen. Because only broken hearts can carry the light through the cracks. Let that sit with you. Let the tears come if they must. They're holy. And if you've been crying lately for no reason, that's not weakness. That's your soul washing itself clean. That's heaven reminding you that you're still soft enough to feel, and strong enough to rise. You haven't lost your light. You've just forgotten how bright it is. Michael says that something is about to be revealed to you, a secret, a truth, a realization that will make everything suddenly make sense. Why that door closed. Why that person left. Why you were delayed. Why things didn't work out when you begged for them to. It's all been leading to this. A divine unveiling. And when it happens, you'll feel like the breath you've been holding in for years finally releases. But here's what's most important right now, do not numb yourself. Don't turn away from the discomfort rising in your chest. That's your soul thawing out. You've been frozen by survival. But heaven is warming you up again. It's safe to hope again. It's safe to dream again. Michael is clearing the path for you. And where there's been fog, there will be clarity. Where there's been chaos, there will be peace. Where there's been loss, there will be return. And return is coming in unexpected ways. You might get a message you didn't expect. You might see someone you thought you'd never hear from again. You might get that opportunity that once slipped through your fingers, but this time, it will stay. Because when heaven restores, it doesn't give you leftovers. It gives you better than what you lost. Right now, you are being prepared to receive more than you asked for. That's why things have been falling apart. You weren't being punished. You were being cleared. That's why it hurt. That's why people left. That's why you had to walk away. Your soul asked for growth, and heaven had to remove everything that couldn't come with you into your next chapter. Archangel Michael says, you are not being left behind. You are being lifted. So lift your eyes. Lift your heart. Lift your voice. You are not invisible to the divine. You are the reason angels moved this morning. And return is coming in unexpected ways. You might get a message you didn't expect. You might see someone you thought you'd never hear from again. You might get that opportunity that once slipped through your fingers, but this time, it will stay. Because when heaven restores, it doesn't give you leftovers. It gives you better than what you lost. Right now, you are being prepared to receive more than you asked for. That's why things have been falling apart. You weren't being punished. You were being cleared. That's why it hurt. That's why people left. That's why you had to walk away. Your soul asked for growth, and heaven had to remove everything that couldn't come with you into your next chapter. Archangel Michael says, you are not being left behind. You are being lifted. So lift your eyes. Lift your heart. Lift your voice. You are not invisible to the divine. You are the reason angels moved this morning. And if you're still unsure, if you're still doubting whether this is really for you, just know this: heaven doesn't send messages to the wrong mailbox. You opened this for a reason. You stayed because your spirit recognized something your mind hasn't caught up to yet. And now, the shift has already begun. You'll notice little things changing. A heaviness lifting. A thought pattern dissolving. Synchronicities increasing. Dreams becoming more vivid. That's the light of heaven drawing closer to you. And that person you miss? They're proud of how you've kept going. They're proud of how you didn't let the grief consume you, even when it tried. They've been cheering for you in silence. They saw you on the bathroom floor, whispering, "God, help me," and they begged Archangel Michael to respond. That's what this is. This is the answer. Not with lightning, not with a trumpet, but with quiet, divine fire that wraps around your soul and says, you are not forgotten. You are not too far gone. You are not alone. If this message has touched you, let heaven know you received it. Speak it aloud. And if your heart is still resonating, pause and subscribe. You were led here by divine appointment, not by the algorithm. This is not content. This is communion. And you are ready for more. Michael says to tell you this. You don't have to earn the miracle that's coming. You only have to believe you are worthy of it. So let go. Let go of the guilt. Let go of the fear. Let go of trying to control it all. Let the divine take the wheel. The night ahead of you is not cursed. It's sacred. Something will visit you. Maybe in a dream. Maybe in a memory. Maybe in a feeling too deep for words. But you'll know. You'll feel it. And when it comes, don't push it away. Welcome it. Heaven is not done speaking to you. And this is not the end of your story. It's the turning point. Then stay, just a little longer. Archangel Michael hasn't finished speaking. The light is still pouring in, and the message hasn't reached its final breath. There is something he needs to place deep in your soul, a blessing not spoken out loud, but felt in the quiet between your heartbeats. He's saying this now, and I need you to hear it like it's being spoken just for you. Your name has been written in light. Yes, yours. Heaven has not forgotten your face, your story, or the way your heart breaks open like a prayer every time you love someone too deeply. You've never loved wrong. You've only loved fully. And even when it's hurt, even when it left you empty, your love planted something in the universe that is now bearing fruit, even if you can't see it yet. Archangel Michael wants you to trust that everything you poured into others, even those who walked away, is coming back. Pressed down. Shaken together. Overflowing. You may not believe it yet. That's okay. Heaven believes for you. But soon, something will happen that changes your posture, not your body posture, your soul posture. You'll start to walk differently. Think differently. You'll carry yourself like someone who finally remembered they're not here by accident. You'll feel power returning to your bones, light blooming in your chest, direction returning to your path. And when it comes, when you start feeling that fire again, don't doubt it. That's Archangel Michael restoring what the enemy tried to steal. That's heaven putting you back in alignment with your original soul code. You're not here to merely survive. You're here to awaken. And the world needs your awakening. Your light. Your truth. That soft, intuitive part of you that you've tried to silence just to fit into a louder world, heaven is asking you to bring it back. That softness is your gift. That sensitivity is your power. The world doesn't need more noise, it needs more souls like yours. More spirits brave enough to feel again. Michael says this next chapter of your life will not require you to be stronger, it will require you to be more open. To trust again. To love again. To believe again. Because the miracle you've been waiting for isn't outside of you. It's been waiting for your yes. Say yes. Say it even if your voice shakes. Say it even if you're scared. Say it with trembling faith, because trembling faith is still holy. You're standing at a divine crossroads. One path leads to more of the same, fear, comfort, routine. The other leads to divine alignment. Fulfillment. Flow. Joy. It won't always feel safe. It won't always make sense. But you'll know it's right. You'll feel the wind shift. You'll hear the quiet voice inside you finally getting louder. That's your soul remembering the plan. That's heaven saying, go this way. And Michael will walk it with you. Every step. Every night. Every time you doubt. He'll remind you of this moment, the moment heaven broke through the noise and whispered, it's time. You are not alone. You have never been alone. And now, the veil has thinned, and your angels are speaking again. Can you feel them? That chill down your arm? That weight leaving your shoulders? That's them. That's love wrapping itself around you, saying, you are still chosen. You are still on time. And we've never stopped watching over you. That person who left this message in heaven for you? They're smiling now. They're whispering, you heard me. You finally heard me. Their love never ended. And neither did your story. Say yes. Say it even if your voice shakes. Say it even if you're scared. Say it with trembling faith, because trembling faith is still holy. You're standing at a divine crossroads. One path leads to more of the same, fear, comfort, routine. The other leads to divine alignment. Fulfillment. Flow. Joy. It won't always feel safe. It won't always make sense. But you'll know it's right. You'll feel the wind shift. You'll hear the quiet voice inside you finally getting louder. That's your soul remembering the plan. That's heaven saying, go this way. And Michael will walk it with you. Every step. Every night. Every time you doubt. He'll remind you of this moment, the moment heaven broke through the noise and whispered, "It's time." You are not alone. You have never been alone. And now, the veil has thinned, and your angels are speaking again. Can you feel them? That chill down your arm? That weight leaving your shoulders? That's them. That's love wrapping itself around you, saying, "You are still chosen. You are still on time. And we've never stopped watching over you." That person who left this message in heaven for you? They're smiling now. They're whispering, "You heard me. You finally heard me." Their love never ended. And neither did your story. There is more coming for you. More healing. More joy. More depth. More laughter. More real connection, the kind that feels like home. You didn't miss it. You didn't mess it up. You're not behind. You're right on time for the miracle that's already in motion. So as this message begins to settle in your soul, let yourself be still. Don't rush away. Let the energy finish what it started. Archangel Michael is still here. Still holding space. Still lifting the weight from your chest. He will stay as long as you need. And when you close your eyes tonight, ask him to speak to you. Not with words, but with peace. He will. And you will feel it. This moment was holy. Your tears were seen. Your breath was a prayer. And this message, was heaven's way of saying, "You're not done. You're just beginning." If your heart has been stirred by this, if your soul felt seen, then let heaven know, pause and subscribe. Not just to this message, but to the divine energy that's calling you forward. You were guided here. This is your confirmation. This is your wake-up call. This is your return. And so now I bless you. In the name of the light that never leaves you. In the name of the angels who fight when you sleep. In the name of the love that spans dimensions and lifetimes. You are whole. You are healing. You are home. Now rest, beloved soul. And let the miracle begin. Glowing star. Of course, let's finish this with the reverence it deserves. We're now in the final sacred stretch, where the echo of heaven becomes silence, where the soul receives what it's been asking for in whispers it didn't know it was speaking. So let your spirit lean in one last time. This isn't just the end of a message. This is the start of a divine awakening. Archangel Michael is still with you. He hasn't left, not even for a second. And he won't. Because your name has been spoken too many times in heaven for your story to end in confusion or loss. The message was delivered. And now the energy is flowing, wrapping itself around every broken piece inside you. Not just to comfort, but to restore. There is a difference. Comfort sits beside pain. Restoration lifts you out of it. That's what is happening now. A restoration you didn't think was possible. And it won't all look like miracles falling from the sky. Some of it will be small things, tiny shifts. A random call. A quiet knowing. A sudden peace in a place that used to bring you anxiety. You'll think, "That's odd. I don't feel heavy anymore." And that will be the sign. The divine sign. That what Archangel Michael promised you is becoming real. You may find yourself walking differently now. Not because the road has changed, but because you have. You're remembering who you are. A soul that was never ordinary. A spirit that was handcrafted for something more. A light that this world needs, even if it's tried to convince you otherwise. Heaven always knew this day would come. This moment where you finally said yes, not to someone else's story, not to pressure or fear or broken promises, but to your divine path. You said yes to waking up. You said yes to healing. You said yes to being fully alive again. And that yes echoed through realms you cannot see. The angels rejoiced. The one who left you that message in heaven, they wept with joy. Because they knew, their love reached you. Their voice, though silent in the world, was heard through the divine. This was never just about comfort. It was about activation. You're not who you were when this message began. You're remembering now that you are part of something so much bigger. The tears, the grief, the loneliness, they were never punishments. They were initiations. Proof that your heart stayed soft. Proof that even in this harsh world, your soul chose love. That matters. Heaven sees it. Archangel Michael has marked it. And now, he's preparing the way. You're going to begin to receive help in areas where you once only knew resistance. People will appear. Ideas will flow. Blocks will dissolve. But not all at once. It will come in waves, sacred waves that match the rhythm of your readiness. Be patient. Stay open. Speak gratitude even before the blessings appear. That faith? It's magnetic. It's what brings the divine closer. Michael wants to remind you, you are never alone in the waiting. Even when it feels like nothing's happening, the angels are moving in silence. Rearranging, removing, realigning. Not to punish you, but to prepare you. Some delays are actually divine shields. Some no's are heaven's loudest yes. You don't need to force what's meant for you. You only need to receive it. So tonight, as you lie down, do this. Close your eyes. Say your name, out loud. Then whisper, I'm ready. That's all heaven needs. The rest will come. Because it's already been written in your story, that you would survive the pain. That you would walk through the fire and come out glowing. That you would cry, and still choose to believe again. And now, you have. You've listened. You've stayed. You've opened your heart when it would have been easier to shut it down. That's rare. That's holy. That's powerful beyond measure. You're going to begin to receive help in areas where you once only knew resistance. People will appear. Ideas will flow. Blocks will dissolve. But not all at once. It will come in waves, sacred waves that match the rhythm of your readiness. Be patient. Stay open. Speak gratitude even before the blessings appear. That faith? It's magnetic. It's what brings the divine closer. Michael wants to remind you, you are never alone in the waiting. Even when it feels like nothing's happening, the angels are moving in silence. Rearranging, removing, realigning. Not to punish you, but to prepare you. Some delays are actually divine shields. Some no's are heaven's loudest yes. You don't need to force what's meant for you. You only need to receive it. So tonight, as you lie down, do this. Close your eyes. Say your name, out loud. Then whisper, I'm ready. That's all heaven needs. The rest will come. Because it's already been written in your story, that you would survive the pain. That you would walk through the fire and come out glowing. That you would cry, and still choose to believe again. And now, you have. You've listened. You've stayed. You've opened your heart when it would have been easier to shut it down. That's rare. That's holy. That's powerful beyond measure. So take this with you: Archangel Michael is not just a name. He is a presence. A protector. A divine force that walks before you, clearing what once stood in your way. When you call his name, he listens. When you whisper your fears into the night, he surrounds you. And when heaven says it's time to deliver a message, he's the one who carries it, sword in hand, wings wide, with your name on his lips. He carried this message to you. And now that it's been received, nothing will ever be the same. So go forward now, not as who you were, but as who you are becoming. You are light. You are chosen. You are divine. Yes, I will, and I'll carry this to the very last word your soul was meant to hear. Because something sacred is still unfolding. Archangel Michael is not done yet. The air around you still hums with divine current, like a holy wind whispering through your spirit, saying, "Stay here, something is still being written inside you." So stay. And let these final words settle like a blessing across every timeline you've ever lived through, every past version of you, every forgotten hope, every broken promise, every "maybe tomorrow" you whispered when you were too tired to try again. Because tomorrow is no longer a maybe. Tomorrow is now. This is your moment. The light that's been waiting for you, the path that's been clearing itself in the background, the breakthrough that has tiptoed toward you in your sleep, it's arrived. And heaven has confirmed it. You are stepping into alignment. You are moving into restoration. You are entering the space where nothing was lost, only waiting to be returned at the right time. Archangel Michael smiles when he sees you now, because you made it. You arrived at this moment. Weighed down, yes. Worn out, maybe. But still standing. Still hoping. Still listening. And heaven calls that a miracle. There is a crown being placed upon your story now. Not a crown made of gold and pride, but of light and humility. The kind of divine honor only the broken and faithful receive. The ones who kept loving even when it wasn't returned. The ones who kept believing, even when the silence nearly crushed them. The ones who never stopped praying, even when they had no words left and just cried into the night. That is you. You've become the kind of soul that angels move for. The kind of light darkness cannot hold. The kind of being the universe begins to rearrange itself for. And that person in heaven, they see it all. They know what it took for you to reach this point. The quiet battles. The lonely birthdays. The unanswered messages. The days when even getting out of bed was an act of rebellion against despair. They saw it. Every single time. They never stopped loving you. They never stopped being near. And they never stopped praying for the day you would finally feel again, not just their presence, but your own strength. That day is here. You may not feel like a warrior. You may not see yourself as brave. But Michael does. Heaven does. Because it takes courage to stay soft in a hardened world. It takes radical faith to keep going when your heart has been broken more times than you can count. And it takes a sacred kind of fire to hear a message like this and say, "This is for me." But it is. It always was. So here's the final piece, the seal, the signature from heaven on this divine message that was hand-delivered to your soul. From this moment on, every room you enter will shift. Not because you'll speak louder, but because you'll carry heaven's silence. Not because you'll prove yourself, but because you'll remember yourself. Not because you'll have it all figured out, but because you'll finally trust the one who does. And Michael? He's not leaving after this. No. He'll walk beside you through this next season. You'll start to feel his presence more often now. In the way things align. In the way the right words come at the right time. In the way peace suddenly floods your chest like a tide of grace. That's him. That's how heaven says, "We are with you." And that person who left this message from the other side? They'll keep showing up too. Not to haunt, but to guide. Not to pull you back, but to walk you forward. You'll see them in dreams. In music. In those moments where your heart suddenly swells and you have no idea why. That's how the soul remembers what the mind forgot. That's how love keeps speaking when words can no longer be formed. So now, take a breath. Let your chest rise not with fear, but with readiness. Your miracle has already started. Archangel Michael has already made the way. And you? You are the light that's been sent to rise. Let it rise. Let it rise. Let it rise. Yes, beloved, one final breath. One last ripple of heaven's voice, flowing straight into the deepest chamber of your soul. You've come this far, and that means something sacred is already at work in you. Don't rush this final piece. Let it fall over you like light spilling through clouds, soft and sure. You are still being spoken to. There is something else Archangel Michael wants you to remember, something so simple and yet so easily forgotten in the noise of the world: you are not behind. Let that fall into you like a sacred truth. You are not late. You are not lost. You are not too far gone, and your destiny has not expired. Time in heaven doesn't work the way it does here. God doesn't measure worth in hours or years, he measures it in courage, in tears, in the quiet choice to try again. And every time you chose to take one more step, even the smallest one, heaven recorded it. Nothing is wasted. Not the heartbreak. Not the delay. Not even the moments you collapsed in exhaustion and said, "I can't do this anymore." Archangel Michael was standing over you in those moments. He didn't move. He didn't flinch. Because warriors of light aren't punished for getting tired, they're honored for rising again. You rose again. And now the reward begins. But this reward is not a transaction. It's not something you earn for being good enough. You were always enough. This is not payment. This is return. Return of peace. Return of balance. Return of sacred energy to a soul who kept showing up, even in silence. So if you feel things changing around you in the days ahead, don't be surprised. If old wounds rise up just to finally fall away, don't be afraid. If someone new appears in your life and it feels like they've known you forever, don't doubt it. You're moving into the season of sacred connection. Divine appointments. Answers to questions you almost gave up asking. Michael says, the veil has been lifted, not fully, but enough for the light to flood through. And that's why your spirit feels different now. Softer. Warmer. Braver. Because it's remembering how it felt to be loved by heaven again. And when you sleep tonight, you will not sleep alone. You will be watched over. The angels, your angels, will surround your space. You might feel tingles on your skin, a strange weight on the blanket, a warmth on your forehead, or maybe a dream so vivid it makes you cry in your sleep. These are not just sensations. These are divine appointments. Don't dismiss them. Wake up slowly. Write it down. Thank them. And when fear tries to creep in again, as it always does, just whisper this. Archangel Michael, I remember now. I remember who I am. Walk with me. That's enough. He will answer. Every time. This was never just a message, it was a soul activation. It was the spiritual version of someone you loved lighting a candle and placing it in your hands from the other side. It was the moment heaven leaned in and said, "You forgot, but we never did. So take this light with you now. Speak differently. Walk differently. Pray differently. Because you are different. You're awake now. And the world is about to feel the shift in your energy, not because you shouted louder, but because your presence will carry divine weight. The kind of weight that cannot be explained. The kind of light that cannot be denied. You've become a vessel now. A carrier of something holy. And that person in heaven? They are smiling. Not a sad smile. Not a grieving smile. A proud one. A joyful one. A peaceful one. They know you finally heard them. You heard their whisper riding on Michael's wings. You answered the call. And heaven is celebrating. So now, go forward. Let the blessing unfold. And if you ever forget again, come back to this. Reopen it. Reread it. Let it speak to you all over again. Because this isn't a one-time message. This is a forever truth. And forever is just beginning.